Welcome to the Introduction to Computer-Aided Drafting. In this class we're going to get into a lot throughout this semester, and first thing we're going to get started with is we're going to learn how to set up your Autocad interface. And to do so, you got to find your Autocad, and I'm using 2014. If you download 2015 or 2016, it's going to be virtually the same software, maybe just a few minor changes in it, but I would recommend to either download the 2014 or 15. So I want to double click on this, and when you do, it brings up Autocad like this. Now whenever you open Autocad, if you've never opened it before, you're not going to have this. Okay, it's just going to open up like this, and I want to show you how to get that wizard screen on there. Okay, so this is basically what you're looking at, and I want to change a few things on my screen that make it look more like what you've got. Alright, your screen's going to look something similar to this. You've got the ribbon up here, and you basically got all your status bar and all this. It looks like this. Now what I want to do is down here is in this is where you can type in your commands. Now you don't have to click on it, you can just start typing, it automatically comes up. What you want to type in is type in start up, type in just enter, or if you're using your mouse, right click is enter on the mouse, and make sure that your value is 1. Type in 1 and enter. Now when you come back in here, this is the new button. When I hit new, see how it brings up a create new drawing? This is just a little wizard that makes things really easy for you down the road, because when you set up AutoCAD, you have to set up your units and you have to set up your limits. Now this will do everything for you, which is really nice. So we're going to start from scratch and using imperial feet and inches. That's just a standard unit. If you're going to use that, or if you're going to use metric. So this is what I want to use, and what I do is come over here and click on use a wizard, and I always do the advanced setup and hit OK on that, and see how it gives you the different options. Now on that first assignment or the first project, you're going to create a mechanical setup, you're going to do a civil setup, and then you're going to do an architectural setup. And basically right here it is. Decimal is for mechanical, engineering would be used for civil, and architectural would be used, of course, for the architectural fields. Now precision, how accurate you want to go, number places. Like this one's 15.5, and that's 10 thousandths place. You know, if you don't need to go that far, but you can always change this. So hit next. Your angles in decimal degrees, minutes, seconds, grads, radians, or surveyor, and then also your precision on that. I'll just leave it at that. Now this is angle measurements, and you got east at 0, 90, north 180, and 270. The reason they're doing it like that, it's kind of, especially in the civil world, it's completely backwards. 0 should be up here going clockwise, but for some reason in AutoCAD they always like to start 0 here and go around this way, and a lot of it's due to our quadrant system, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that's why they do it. So east is 0, but you can make north your 0. I'm just going to leave it alone at east. But when you start doing angles, you got to remember how your zero's turning to find your angle. Again, we're going counterclockwise. You could go clockwise, it's up to you. I'll just leave it at the default. And then limits. How big is the object that you're drawing? Now, the first one we did was mechanical, and working with mechanical, let's just leave it at the width 12 inches and 9 inches tall, and hit finish. And that's basically it. You're ready to start drawing. And this is what I would recommend. Come up here, and there's a little drop down tab. Click on it and slide down to show menu bar, and it puts up these little menus up here. I always like to go into format, and this right here is the same thing we did. If you want to do it manually, you go to format, here's your units, or you could type in U and enter. That's a hotkey, they call it. But you see how we've got all those, decimal and precision, angle, precision, and if you want to change that at any point, you can right here. Alright, and just hit OK. You can also find your limits in format, drawing limits. It'll ask you down here, start at 0, 0, and that's just using Cartesian coordinates. You're starting at the lower left hand corner, and you're making a window up to where the end of the limits are. If I hit enter on that, that's where I'm starting it from, and see how it's 12, 9, and you've got everything set up. So all you have to do at this point, we've got that mechanical one set up. I'm just going to go File, up here and do File, Save, and put it somewhere where you can find it. I'm just going to put it on my desktop, and you're going to say this one is mechanical. Mechanical setup, and do a save. Now, only thing I want you to do now is just hit new again. Your template will come up. This time we're going to do engineering, civil engineering, so hit engineering, precision, I'll just leave it alone. Decimal degree, or actually you want to do surveyor units. I would move this one out to that right there, where you got degrees, minutes, and seconds. Well, actually this one right here would be fine. Hit next. I'd leave all this alone. And now we can put in some big feet. Now I'm not for sure on your blackboard exactly what I ask you for, but you can type in 100 and put your little foot sign, and I'm just going to do 100 foot. Finish. And now just do a save. And I want to call this one Civil Engineering Setup. Save, and if I want to check myself, come up here to Format, slide down to Units, Engineering, Surveying Units, looks great. Come back up here to Format, and I want to look at my limits, drawing limits. First one starts out 0, 0, hit Enter, and 100 by 100, perfect. Now let's do our last one, architectural. Come up here and hit your new button, and just use the advanced setup, hit OK. Slide down to architectural, hit next, and leave it at decimal degrees. We'll leave all that alone, and let's just say, for instance, structure we're building is 50 foot by 50 foot. We need that room to be able to work in, and I'm going to show you what these limits and things mean as we go on. So now just hit save on that, and I want to call that one my arc setup. Save. And now I got drawing one, I'll delete that one. Now I got a mechanical setup, I got a civil, and I got an architectural setup. When you get those finished, I want you just to take and I want you to go to Blackboard, and on that specific task, I want you to get on there, and you're going to download all 3 of these onto your Blackboard, and you're going to submit it to me.